Most people approaching retirement are asking the same question, and it's probably the same question you've asked yourself many times. It's how much is enough? Is it 500,000? Is it a million? Is it 5 million? It's a really tough question to answer, but after walking alongside many retirees over the past couple of years, many of them being Christians who have saved diligently and done a great job handling their finances, I've learned something important. Not only can that be a really difficult question to answer, that question often creates much more anxiety than it does clarity. Now let that sink in. It really is an important question, but approaching it the wrong way creates much more anxiety and fear, and it ends up being not a very helpful question. And in fact, some of the most financially secure retirees I know never even hit that quote unquote number that they thought they needed. And then on the other hand, some of the most anxious retirees I know, they did hit their number. So it's not really about hitting that number. So today I wanted to help you ask a better question, one that leads to peace, to confidence, and to wise stewardship, not endlessly second guessing yourself. And if you're a Christian, this question matters even more because retirement isn't just a financial milestone, it's a transition in your calling and just a small step the road to eternity. And don't get me wrong, I get it. The idea that retirement security can come down to just knowing a single number is incredibly appealing because it feels very objective, it feels concrete, and it gives you a goal that once you get there, you know you'll be safe. But here's the problem with that. A retirement number doesn't tell you how that money actually functions in real life. Two families can both have $2 million portfolios while one feels stressed all the time and the other feels a deep peace. And why is that? Well, that's because retirement isn't funded by a number. It is in a sense, but it's funded by income. It's funded by having a structure around that number, having flexibility and having margin. And scripture reminds us here in Luke chapter 12 that life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. So the answer isn't always just more to appeal to our safety. Yet many retirement plans unintentionally do exactly that. They reduce security to just accumulation alone. And that leads us to what I think is a better question. And that better question to ask, instead of asking, how much is enough, you should be asking maybe, what does my money need to do for me? Now, here's why I think that question is much more helpful for you. Because that shifts the focus from fear to function, from hoarding to stewardship, and from anxiety to clarity. Because money in retirement, it has a job to do. It has many jobs to do. It has to fund your lifestyle. It has to provide stability for your family. It has to give you the ability to be generous and to be giving towards others. And it has to create margin for the unknown that is going to come down the road. And why I love that question much more, what do I need my money to be doing for me or to do for me, instead of asking how much is enough, is because when you understand the jobs that your money must perform, the number becomes far less mysterious. And this is where I believe that faith really intersects beautifully with planning. And I've seen many Christian retirees struggle here, so don't feel alone if this applies to you. But they struggle not because they lack discipline, but almost because they really just have too much of it in a sense. They've spent decades saving faithfully, avoiding debt, living below their means, a lot of the things I'm sure you have been doing really well, and suddenly they transition to this new phase of life, and retirement asks you to reverse that muscle memory. And because that muscle memory is deep, you start to worry. You start to ask, what if we need this later? What if healthcare costs explode? What if the market crashes? There's so many unknowns down the road. But wise stewardship doesn't rely upon fear-based preservation. So you're probably thinking, okay, Dylan, this all sounds good and well, but what does actually determine what enough is? We still have to be able to live in retirement. And I hear you there. So what is enough? Well, we've established that it's not necessarily a balance. So what it is a sustainable income. It's tax efficiency, it's spending flexibility, it's healthcare planning, and it's emotional permission to enjoy what God has provided to you. Not always being stressed around what we may need in the future or just really wanting to hold on to everything because you just don't know if you do have enough. And like I mentioned earlier, there's two families that both have $2 million. They have the same net worth, but they experience retirement completely differently because one has clarity and guardrails while the other has questions. questions and anxiety. And the clarity doesn't come from guessing, it comes from planning. So if you're approaching retirement, you're constantly asking yourself, do I have enough? You are probably asking the wrong question. A better question is asking yourself, hey, does my plan allow me to live faithfully, to live generously, and to live confidently in this next season? And if you're not sure, that's okay. Many families going into retirement are unsure of what their investments translate to in retirement. And if you're not sure, that's okay. I've spoken with many retirees who were not sure how exactly to answer that question. And that is exactly the kind of question that my team helps families answer every day. If you would like help answering that question, walking through your financial situation, make sure to click the link below in the bio to schedule a free retirement planning call with myself. And remember that money is just a tool. It's not the goal. It's about funding the life that you want, and retirement isn't about hitting a certain number. It's about entering a new season with peace, with purpose, and with margin so that you can live the life that you want to and that God is calling you to. If this was helpful for you, make sure to like and subscribe for more faith-driven retirement planning conversations down the road, and so that other families who are faith-driven as well can find these videos as well. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.